Yes, gentlemen, welcome to Escaping the System question and answer section with Miles Lawson.
Yeah, welcome, sir. All right. So today's section we'll be discussing on a very important topic, and the topic is the importance of spiritual growth, especially in the lives of men as fathers, as a young men. How being the head of the family, we have to carry the family along spiritually. So I want you to expatiate and teach us.
It's a very interesting topic, and it is what I believe that people don't really look at it or rely on it or even think about it. You know, it's very important that as a man, I'm going to speak as a young man that I am because sooner or later I'll soon have my children and all. So, as a young man, I live my life dependent on God because I know I didn't just get here. I knew or I know that there has been an orchestration about my life, you know, because you have to have something written about you and you have to discover it. In the book of Proverbs, it said, and it is the glory of the Lord to reveal a matter, but the honor of kings is to search out that matter. And for you to search out that matter, there must be somebody who has hidden that matter for you to search it out. And the person who has hidden it can only reveal it to you where he has hidden it to make it simple for you to find it. So most men today, I believe they are constantly in search for God. They really want to like get close to God and know God personally. But there are certain activities in the name of distractions that has called them away from this fellowship, from this communion. So most men today don't really believe. I don't think most men today really know how to pray. I don't think most men today can spend 30 minutes in God's presence, meditating on the word, studying the word, fellowshipping, singing hymns, singing songs, reading the Psalms. Most young men today are caught up in doing dumb shit, right? If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? So if your foundation is destroyed as a young man, which eventually you're going to actually build a family tomorrow, how will you fixate the pinnacle of what your family is about without you having the foundation that God is your source? Or without you having these primary studies and getting to know him personally. Job said something. He said, "Upon the days of my youth, the secret of God was revealed upon my tabernacles." David said, "I always keep his precepts and the meditations of his word." He loves doing it. So, but today in our world, what do young men do? Play video game, smoke weed, chase after women, do yahoo, drink alcohol, play video games, join cult and kill themselves. Without realizing that a day is coming where I'll have to build a family. I'll have to get a wife or wives. I will have to have children. And what will I teach my children? And this is the problem where I don't really like with school. Most men just think that okay, they're gonna have children and just send the child to school. No, the Bible said you should train up a child in the way that he should go. That when he's old, he will not depart from it. So if you're going to actually think that when I give birth to a child, I'll just send him to school, you're heading for the rocks. That's massive failure. You're programming the child for slavery already. So you got to be smart and think, what can I teach this child? Basically, what you're going to teach him is the things you know, is the things that has worked for you. And one of the ways to discover that is by being in constant fellowship with God, because God is going to tell you things. He said, eyes have not seen, ear has not heard, neither has he entered the heart of men what the Lord has prepared for them that love him. Because if you don't love him, how is he going to speak to you? Even in the natural, if you don't love somebody, how are you going to tell them something that is important to you? So God is saying that those people who love him are the ones that he's going to tell things to. He's going to unveil secrets to. So those are the secrets that puts your family in the pinnacle of excellence. So most men don't just, reverence God. They leave everything for the woman. They allow the woman to be more spiritual than they are. Because why? I'm looking for money. You have allowed money be your God. And Jesus said it clearly. He said, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. It's either you love one and you hate the other. You cannot serve God and serve mammon. So it's a battle for the souls. It's a battle for souls. A man's life is in constant battle for souls. You're either in a decision who you shall serve. And Jeremiah said it quite all right, and I follow Jeremiah. He said, choose you this day whom you shall serve. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. And I'm speaking personally for myself. Me and my house, we shall serve the Lord all the days of our life. Right? So he has made us kings, and he has also made us priests for we to preside over our household. He has given us the authority to preside, to be priests. It's not the one who go to church and we say amen. That one is good, but in our household, we're priests. We preside over things. We say what happened and what doesn't happen. We call the shots over there. The woman is just an assistant. She's not the spiritual leader. But most men today have made the woman become the spiritual leader. They might be, hosting prayer session or the prayer altar. And the man is nowhere to be found. Consistently. What are you teaching the children? To repeat the same thing, because when the boys grow, they say, daddy, you need to come prayer now. So why have to come prayer? I'm the man, I'm providing everything. So, but when you are cultured rightly by the word, you will know that your presence is required there. Even if you're not around, those things are supposed to be carried out with or without you, because you've laid down these laws. You've laid down these foundations. So for you as a man, not to neglect the spiritual benefits of what it takes to actually head the family, you're not doing yourself any good. You will be prone to spiritual attacks. There are some cases where you have attacks, at night, maybe your child or maybe your spouse, your wife, maybe. Then and then, you cannot be picking up your phone by 1 or 2 or 3 and be calling your pastor. That's where you have to exercise your own physical authority. That's when the things that you've studied, that's when the word inside of you is going to come alive, if you have it. If you don't have it, you'll be exposed. You'll be exposed. And it is important, it is imperative for men to know that after God is them, before the wife, the children. It's a divine order. God, man, woman, children. That's the divine order. He gets the information from the father, and he passes this information to his wives and to his children. This is law. This is order. This is how things have to be done. So that the children can, because children are good observers. They see what you're doing and they copy what you're doing without you saying a word. Right? So that's what I think men should do. Men should be constant students of the word, constant students of the scriptures, constant students of seeking knowledge. And not just knowledge, seeking divine knowledge. Because you say, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So it's the word that is going to illuminate your path for you to see clearly the things you are to do. And if there is danger, the word is going to show you that there is danger here. You should not follow this road. You should go through this other way. That is how to excel. That is how to see and reason with wisdom. Because the word teaches you wisdom. It gives you wisdom by you constantly studying it. The word is like a meal. that you eat and it nourishes your body. The bread seller, the bread cannot nourish the bread seller until the bread seller tear the waterproof comot the bread and chop the bread. But if you no chop the bread is never going to nourish him, no matter the fact saying they sell the bread. Water go. So these are the things that men are supposed to do. You're supposed to actually understand your spiritual essentials. No be play something. No. Because either way, if you don't understand your spiritual essential, the negative supernatural is going to overwhelm your family. Then you wonder why some certain things are going wrong. And if things are going wrong, you're supposed to be spiritually alert to say, hey, stop in the name of Jesus. All of these things are supposed to be in your spiritual arsenals. Because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and power, against rulers of darkness, wickedness in highest places, bro. So whether you like it, you don't like it. Whether you know it, you don't know it. Whether you understand it, you don't understand it. These things are there. And these things will happen. And it is word in you that is going to show whether you're actually word addict and adequate to actually mount this problem or you're deficient. So that's my take on it.
How often? Because I think the problem has to do with balance. So what's your advice on men how they can balance both, being the provider of the family and also being the spiritual leader in the family?
I think balance in this regard, is something that is very important, and I think most people mistake too many times of living one without the other. For example, going for the money without understanding spiritual backings, or going for the money adequately and neglecting the fact that they ought to pray. Right? So a man is supposed to know that man is a spirit. He lives in a body and he has a soul. So you to understand that you are a spirit. And spiritual things are related to spiritual things. And the spiritual controls the physical. You're going to spend money here in the physical realm. But for you to get that money, you must control it from the spiritual realm. You must go to a high eternal place to governize this thing and orchestrate it to work in your favor and for your advancement. Which is why prayer is essential. If you check it, you look at all these broke people today. Most of them pray, but their physical work and their attribute is poor. And some people, their physical attribute is of quality, and their prayer life is poor. So how do we balance it? You balance it by understanding that you are a spirit, you ought to pray. And in this physical realm, there are certain diligence that you must partake and balance those as well. So these are the things you're supposed to do. A man's life is not something that is fun. Being a man is not fun. Being a man is responsibility. Responsibility for yourself, responsibility for the ones you love, responsibility for the things you care about, responsibility for your household, responsibility for your name. Because all of these things will be tested to see what kind of man you are. And if you don't hold yourself accountable, responsible for these things, everything will fall apart and you'll just be nobody, like a feather floating in the wind. So you must balance your work ethic and your spiritual life. It goes hand in hand. You cannot live one without the other. It goes hand in hand. You must learn how to balance it. You must learn it. It's something that can be learned through constant practice, through word study, through rigorous reading, through exercising the mind to make your gain and profiting. The Bible even told us that the profit of the earth is for all. It's for all. So the people who are aware, who have the knowledge, you go and get it. Lazarus was a righteous man, but he was broke. He was poor. Why was he poor? He neglected the physical aspect, which had to deal with his mind, because he desired to feed for the rich man's table. And the rich man was rich, but he neglected the spiritual side, which was his prayer life and his connectivity with God. So he ended up in hell. Although the other man went to heaven, but he landed at the bosom of Abraham. He was not too regarded like that. Even the conversation in hell between the rich man and Father Abraham, Lazarus wasn't mentioned. They still neglected him because of how he lived his life. So he must go hand in hand. He must balance these two things.
One cannot do without the other.
Of course.
Yes, so the spiritual and the physical
Has to go hand in hand.
Wow, that's a lot. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you very
I
much.
appreciate it. Till next time.